Welcome back, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us for another explainer. Today, we're unpacking a literally chaotic, dense, and emotionally devastating climax from the classic horror series, Aahat. We're looking at a deeply layered story, one involving possession, vengeance, and a whole lot of family betrayal. You know, it's one of those stories where the lines between the monsters and the victims get completely hopelessly blurred. We're going to break down the rapid-fire reveals, the complex character motivations, and the shocking hidden crimes that somehow turn a holy wedding ritual into an all-out supernatural battleground. So let's just get right into it.
जो मेरी बेटी को नहीं मिला, how can I let someone else have what my daughter was denied? Man, this chilling quote is the absolute emotional anchor of the entire haunting. Spoken by a grieving mother, it perfectly captures the raw, kind of misguided grief that just fuels the horror here. See, this isn't your standard ghost story about some random evil spirit running amok. No way. This is a profound tragedy rooted in a mother's broken heart, which actually twists her love into something incredibly dark. Keep this thought in the back of your mind as we untangle exactly what's going down in this chaotic room.
Moving into Section 1, the terrifying climax, a wedding disrupted by the supernatural.
Okay, picture this. A sacred wedding is happening. The holy fire is burning bright, but instead of celebration, absolute panic. There's a powerful holy man stuck outside, totally unable to enter, which leaves our protagonist, Ion, to face the supernatural storm completely alone. Now, the original scene is just packed with intense crosstalk, screaming, and these rapid-fire reveals. So to make sense of the madness, let's quickly map out who's who in the supernatural showdown. First up, we've got Mira, who is actively fighting off a demonic possession. Then there's Goody, the vengeful spirit trying to literally use Mira as a murder weapon. Shockingly, we have the mother, who is actually cheering the ghost on. And finally, Jagrut and Sonia, the groom and bride, who find themselves the main targets of this violent disruption. Breaking it down like this, it's pretty clear we're dealing with a massive, multi-layered conflict, not just a run-of-the-mill haunting.
And right in the middle of all this is the ultimate internal war happening inside Mira. The spirit is demanding violence, screaming, kill him, but Ion? He's desperately trying to pull Mira back from the edge. And the cool part is, he doesn't use magic. He uses her own words. He reminds her of this profound truth she once told him, that everyone has both good and evil inside of them. But her ability to handle that evil, her innate goodness, well, that's her actual superpower. He anchors her to her own resilience, totally refusing to let the darkness take the wheel. It's honestly a beautiful moment of psychological strength right in the middle of all that supernatural chaos. All right, let's head into Section 2, a mother's vengeful grief, fueling the fire of a lost spirit. Now, this brings us to a massive, head-scratching paradox in the story. Why on earth would a mother actively encourage a ghost to torture and terrorize the bride, Sonia, who is her own surviving daughter? Like, as the chaos is unfolding, Sonia is terrified, and the bystanders are practically begging the mother to step in. They keep pointing out that Goody's soul should have found peace by now. But instead, the mother violently rejects their pleas and actually urges the ghost forward. It's wild. So what's really going on here is the mother's completely twisted logic. Goody died tragically on the exact day she was supposed to get married. For the mother, her ultimate dream of dressing her daughter up as a bride was violently, permanently shuttered. And blinded by this all-consuming grief, she's convinced herself of this dark, zero-sum game. Basically, if her precious Goody was denied the joy of becoming a bride, then she just cannot bear to see anyone else take that place, not even her other daughter, Sonia. She genuinely believes down to her core that Goody's restless soul is just going to keep burning in agony until this new wedding is completely destroyed. Which takes us to Section 3, the hit-and-run secret, the bridegroom's hidden crime. Right when you think you have a handle on the dynamics of this haunting, boom, the narrative flips completely. The true monster of the story is finally unmasked. See, as Ion frantically pleads with the ghost, asking what Sonia and Jagrut could have possibly done to deserve such a terrible fate, the spirit drops an absolute bombshell. The vengeful spirit's true target? It isn't the concept of the wedding itself, and it absolutely isn't her sister Sonia. The target is the groom, Jagrut. The ghost reveals a deeply buried secret that completely shifts the moral weight of the entire episode. Let's quickly trace this horrifying backstory chronologically. It all starts in the past, with Goody happily getting ready for her big day. But then, the fatal accident. Jagrut and his friends were out wildly drunk driving. They hit Goody, critically injuring her. She's laying there begging for their help. And what do? Instead of saving her, they cowardly flee the scene, just leaving her there to die alone. And guys, it gets worse. To protect his dirty secret, Jagrut committed murder, killing a man named Dev who had actually figured out the truth. Fast forward to the present, and this murderous, hit-and-run coward has somehow manipulated his way into marrying Goody's younger sister, Sonia. So Jagrut isn't some innocent victim of a haunting. He is a total predator who is finally being hunted. Let's look at Section 4 now. Justice and final peace. Resolution beyond the grave. Once the truth is out in the open, the supernatural haunting completely sheds its disguise. It transforms from a story of mindless terror into one of brutal, righteous execution. Goody's terrifying actions? They were never about blind rage or jealousy. Actually, scratch that. It was a highly calculated protective procedure aimed at saving her family. Step 1, she had to disrupt the wedding rituals by any means necessary. Step 2, she absolutely had to punish the man who stole her life and the life of Dave. And step 3, her ultimate goal all along was to save her beloved younger sister, Sonia. As Goody tells her family, "How could I hurt my own sister? I just couldn't let her marry such a monster." All that terror was actually a desperate, protective act of love. And this elegantly simple, beautifully poetic admission really brings the whole thing home. Goody says, "I only wanted the cause of my death to face his end as a bridegroom." It's dark, for sure, but it's perfect karmic retribution, isn't it? Jagrut ended her life on the exact day she was dressed for her wedding. Therefore, to her, the only true justice was making sure he met his ultimate end on the very day he was dressed as a groom. The very second this karmic loop is closed, the moment Jagrut is eliminated and Sonia is finally safe from a lifetime of deception, Goody's burning soul achieves instant liberation. Mujhe shanti mil gayi. I have found peace. The mother's misguided belief that Goody was acting out of jealousy was just entirely wrong. Goody wasn't trapped by jealousy at all. She was trapped by a profound injustice. Once the scales were balanced, the whole shebang was over and she was finally free to move on. It's an incredibly layered, tragic, yet honestly super satisfying conclusion. And as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative final thought. Does true justice require supernatural vengeance, or simply the courage to bring buried truths out into the light? It really makes you wonder just how many monsters are out there hiding in plain sight, just waiting for the past to finally catch up with them. Thank you so much for joining me today to untangle this fascinating story. Keep questioning, keep analyzing, and as always, stay curious.